damp-proof membrane's on, insulation's actually behind that, and that's all in place. Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video. Now, realised that when we'd done the insulation on the sides and put panelling in, I didn't actually show you any of that. So what I've got to do today is insulate the ceiling, ready for the cladding to go on top. So I'm going to film what I'm doing with that, and show you some pointers on it, and obviously it's not really a how to, it's just how I'm doing it, but come and have a look and we'll show you around what we're doing. So, plan of action is each of these separate runs is going to get stuffed full of insulation. Then we're going to have the insulation put onto these panels, which are also just straight to the roof. Then we're actually going to put the damp membrane over the top and silver foil out to it, so it should leave us with a complete level all the way along, fully insulated and ready for putting the panelling up. So let's get started. So obviously the insulation that we've got is quite thick, so just tear it apart a little bit, grab hold of the wire because this is going in there, but just shove it in with your fingers, obviously being a little bit careful because there are some sharp edges going on, and then grab a bit of a stick and just shove it down towards the end, and just keep on going until the panel's full. Now it doesn't need to be excessively tightly packed, but it needs to have enough in there. Well, I'm actually looking for it popping up down here at the moment, which is just coming through. Same again. Separate it out so you're working with a slightly smaller piece. And what I'm actually going to do this time is just shove it up from this end, just to cover that area there. There we go, one down, another three to go. So that's the filled in cavities done, so we've got that sorted. Do it as best we can anyway, but like I say, most of it's done by the air in there rather than the insulation, so that'll be fine. But we're going to concentrate now on these main roof panels. Now these are the bits that need the damp-proof membrane on as well, because these are the bits that are direct to the outside world, so if there's any condensation going to form, it's going to be on these bits. So I'll show you how we do it. I'm going to use trim adhesive, same as we used on the carpet, and glue some of the insulation up. Now one thing you might be wondering is why I'm not taking the vent out. Basically what's going to happen is once the ceiling panels are on, I'm going to have a separate top out that's going to go inside there, so you'll still be able to access it, but it'll just be a nice sort of trim around it, so that's why that's sort of staying put for now. But let's get cracking, let's get this put up. Now the insulation that we've got is actually quite thick, so to make it go a little bit further and to use up less room, I'm actually parting it as we go. So essentially it works out cheaper to buy the thick stuff and part it down than just to buy the thin stuff in multiple rolls, so that's why we're doing it this way. And obviously one thing I'm doing is being careful not to spray this straight all over the new carpet, so be a little bit careful with it. And that's one panel all covered, so let's get the other ones done. It's ready for some damp-proof membrane. So that's the ceiling, all insulated, all the way to the back of the van. So the next stage is going to be getting the damp-proof membrane on and getting that sort of laid up. Now the walls, literally just taped it up, dropped it down, because basically just used gravity to help me along. And then just tape the edges to keep it sealed. For the ceiling section, I'm actually going to glue it up because I really don't fancy fighting with it, because it is quite awkward to get in place. So I'll go and get some now, we'll get that put up. So this is the damp membrane that we use. Basically bubble wrap with silver foil on either side. So it's just there, sort of, the heat from inside will hit that with all the insulation in place. The cold from the outside won't hit that, so if there's any damp form, it'll get trapped and just it disperses away. Really great for it, and you don't get that massive temperature difference. So that's the idea behind it. Now there is a school of thought that if you don't put this on, then it lets the panels breathe and you don't get damp build up inside. But I'd rather actually have that extra layer on there, plus a little extra insulation. Never goes, you know, sort of too far amiss. So I'm going to pop it up now, and I'll show you what it looks like. Making sure you don't do too much of this at once, so it ends up drying out. You end up stuck with it, and you're using up twice as much glue. But a little bit on the ceiling area, and I'll start with a little strip there, just to help it stick up to the top. So there's the first panel laid up. All we've got to do now, cut along this top edge, just bring it in line with that. Then can do the next panel, and we'll rattle through it. So I'm going to seal all the edges on this now with the silver foil tape, and it's really sticky and really awkward to go off the roll. So what we've discovered is, rather than actually cutting it, if you actually tear it, you get a bit of an edge and leave a bit of the backing on as well. Makes it a lot easier to get off. So let's try and get some up on the wall, being careful because it really does stick to itself quite well. That also happens quite a lot. You have to be a little bit careful when you're tearing it off the backing, because it's very, very fragile stuff. But I'll carry on through with this now, and hopefully should see a finished result very soon. So that's all the damp-proof membrane put up, everything insulated. What I've got down here, just tilt you down, is the first of the ceiling panels. Now I've already measured out and cut where the lights are going to go, so I'm going to pop it up, and unfortunately I can't really film that because of the space, but I'll show you what it's like once we've got it just pinned up. We're just going to use a couple of monopods, so bear with a second.
5 minutes later.
So there you go, one piece in. Obviously it's just been held up with the monopods at the minute, but it should give you some idea. What we're going to do next is get another piece along, mark out where the fan vent is going to go, sorry, not the fan, the vent is going to go, and get that piece cut out, and then literally it's a case of we just stick it up and bond it with this Everbuild EB25 that we've got. So that's where we are now. Got a complete forest of tripods holding those sections of ceiling up while the bonding goes off, and we'll see what it looks like in the morning. So watch this space. There we go, we've got a reasonable way through. Like I said, we've got 2/3 of the ceiling up now, which is quite nice. Probably going to give it a rest now because we're off out tomorrow, and so the sun's just setting, so we'll sort of do the rest of it probably next week. But I hope you've enjoyed this sort of little update, what we've been up to. I can say, hopefully the next time we spot it, it'll have a complete ceiling and possibly even the lights. But watch this space, and we'll see you again next time.